There's a story, I believe it was Saint Teresa of Avila, but I could be wrong on this. But Saint Teresa of Avila, she was traveling from some of the new convents that she had established in Spain, revitalizing the Carmelite order. And the story goes that on one of these expeditions, she was riding in this carriage, and a storm blows up and comes across her path. And it frightens the horses so much so that they get skittish, they rear back, the carriage falls over. It's a carriage accident. She falls out of the carriage and lands in the ditch, covered in mud from the rain that's splattering around her. And she lies there in the ditch, again, doing God's work, going from convent to convent, reestablishing the Carmelite order. And she sits in the ditch, and she's soaked through, freezing cold, and she looks up to the heavens, and she says, "God, if this is how you treat your friends, no wonder you have so few." And I think that quip is just hilarious, but also pointedly true. And we see in today's reflection that Jesus Christ Himself, the Son of God, in some ways experiences this, that here He is, an innocent soul, being put to death, that He's carrying the wood of the cross. And we celebrate this when we have the 14 stations that we celebrate during the season of Lent on Fridays. In these scenes, and maybe even in our own lives, when things are not going our way, when we get thrown out of our carriages and thrown into the muddy ditch, I think it's easy for us to say, where is God in this? God, why would you allow this to happen to me? But the reality is, when God does these things, it's never without meaning. And the same is true with Jesus making His way of the cross. We know why He did that. We know why He carried that cross up to Calvary. There was definitely a meaning behind it. It was not meaningless. So how can we possibly think that our crosses in our life are also meaningless? They are full of meaning, because God does this to His friends to make us like His Son. Amen.